Hey, so fellas, now we're talking about the NFL. We're talking about the top five quarterbacks of this coming up year and how you guys are ranking them. Scruff, go ahead.
And you want to kick it to me first? All right,
Yeah,
bet.
man.
So I want to clear something up, man. I was on. I said I couldn't think of nobody when I said who's the best quarterback in the league. I thought it was Russell Wilson. I couldn't think of nobody better than Russell Wilson. I didn't think too long because I forgot about Patrick Mahomes because that's my number one guy. So I'm gonna start from the top. Patrick Mahomes, my number one guy. I don't think we need to argue about that. Russell Wilson, number two. I got Russell Wilson number two. I got Lamar Jackson number three. Now, four and five is where honestly I think there's a top three, and I think there's a major drop off after that. So you could really argue anywhere from here. But number four, I got Carson Wentz. Number five, I got Deshaun Watson, and that's my top five.
Bruh, you
That's your
put
top
Carson
five.
Wentz over Deshaun Watson, bro? Okay, T, go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
got I
ahead.
got I
Go
got the
ahead.
stats to back me. Don't
All
do
right,
that.
all right, all right. I
Wow,
got
T said,
I
wait,
got
Carson
Mahomes
Wentz?
at one. I think we're probably going to do that unanimously. Let me get my list. I got you see that good ass sports logo? There it is. I got I got Lamar Jackson and Russ at they're tied, right? I don't think there's a Ravens fan that would trade Lamar Jackson for Russell Wilson. I don't think there's a Seahawks fan that would trade Russell Wilson for Lamar Jackson. So I got them tied right there. The next guy I got is Deshaun Watson. I didn't know how many people was going to have in his top five, but he's a guy. I think he plays the game smart. I'm anxious to see him do it without a big time receiver, but I think he'll still get it done. He's a gamer. That comeback uh, was it Buffalo in the playoffs.
Yep.
Epic. And number five, you see, I got four black quarterbacks, and then I got a diabolical hater, man. Drew Brees, man. He,
Oh,
he
you did it. You
he's
put him
he's at
in.
five. He's at five for me, man. I don't want to put him at five, but I think he earned it. He consistently gets it done. I mean, you can't turn your back on him in fantasy. You turn your back on him in real life, and I'd applaud you. But the guy is consistent. I watched him drop almost 10 to 50 on a talented 49ers defense and a shootout. So I can't take nothing away. I got Breeze at five, and that's
Hey,
my
that
list.
is that is a shock, bro. I just got done saying we wasn't gonna show that man no love, and you got this man in the top five. That
I
shows
made
that
sure
we're
I put
being
four black
Respectful of him,
quarterbacks
T.
ahead of him, though. You know what I'm saying? I
that
made four
shows that
black
shows
guys
that
in
we're
front
being
of him.
objective. We're definitely being objective. Much like your list, I have four black quarterbacks also, but that was not on any type of bias or anything. Like I genuinely went through my top five quarterbacks, and I'm proud to say that the top five or four of the top five quarterbacks in the NFL right now are black, and I think you'd be hard pressed to disagree. So I'm gonna break down my top five. Of course, Patrick Mahomes. Not even gonna say too much. Super Bowl MVP. Number two, Russell Wilson, man. If Patrick Mahomes wasn't on whatever he's on, man, he's on a whole nother stratosphere. If he wasn't Patrick Mahomes, if that wasn't a real person, a real life superhero, Russell Wilson will be hands down the best quarterback, and I don't even think that's debatable. So one and two, and then I think it's a bit of a drop off. At three, I got Deshaun Watson. T, you hit it on the head, man. Dude is a gamer. Of course, he had DeAndre Hopkins, and that anybody could be good with DeAndre Hopkins, but I think he's going to be just fine without him. Uh, that man wins, man. He's a baller. He's been winning since college. He just knows what to do. He just got it in him. He got the juice. And then number four is another man who got the juice, and that's Lamar Jackson. I couldn't put Lamar above Watson just yet. I want to see a little bit more. I know Lamar had that MVP season last year or whatever, but then it was a big dud in the playoffs, man, and that hit for me. That hit for me. You gotta show up when it's big. Watson had that big comeback against the Bills in the playoffs, and like I said earlier, if Patrick Mahomes wasn't a damn superhero, Watson probably would have went to the damn Super Bowl himself. Patrick Mahomes had an even better comeback, which don't even make sense. And then number five, man, I was torn between two old white quarterbacks, much like T, but I could not put Breeze in here, man, and that's just off of credentials, bro. Breeze reminds me a lot of Rivers, and the only difference is Breeze is 1-1. Other than that, man, all them stats and all them numbers, they don't mean nothing. Tom Brady has six championships, bro. Six. Realistically, he should be higher on my list, but I just think the four dudes I put above him are just more talented right now due to old age. But I mean, if you ask me this going into last season, he's probably number three. 2 seasons ago, he's probably still number one. So off credentials alone, I got to give Brady the respect and put him in the top five.
All right, let's dive into this. Reactions. First of all, Rome. I'm gonna start first.
Hold on.
He's
Oh,
skipping
wait.
I
my
don't even
mind.
get my
Oh,
top
my bad.
five.
You listen.
Whoa.
I'm gonna get you in a minute.
Hold
Though.
up.
Go ahead.
Hold up. Damn, y'all quick to shoot the gun. Well, my top
I had to
five.
jump. I wanted to jump all over that. Go ahead.
Well, my top five gonna be, of course, Mr. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. He's debatable, but either or could go up. And then for number three, Lamar Jackson for just winning that crazy MVP season he just gave us. And then number four for me will be Tom Brady, man. You guys said it earlier. 6 championship ring. He's going with a team with crazy offensive weapons. And then my last and final one is, man, y'all so disrespectful. Mr. Aaron Rodgers himself. How is Aaron Rodgers not in your top five? How is the bad man, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, not in your top five? First of all, Deshaun Watson never showed me nothing in the playoffs yet. Let's get that under pack. But he has yet to be that man in the
He really
playoffs.
made the big
How
noise.
you go 24 and 0 in the second quarter, and just to have someone come back and just takes your lead and it throws another 20 on top of you? Are you crazy? I can't put him over Aaron Rodgers. So that is my top five. Y'all, how y'all put Aaron
Bro,
Rodgers?
I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers lost to porn star Jimmy in the championship game. I'm pretty sure. Aaron Rodgers ain't even the best Aaron on his team, bro. That is an Aaron Jones led football team. That's an Aaron Jones led. Hey,
Wow.
but I'll give you kudos though. I will give you kudos for not throwing Eli Manning in there like your man Scruff threw Wentz in there, bro. But Scruff, come with the smoke, bro, because I want to know what you want to jump on. Because you had Wentz, man. Come on.
All right. First of all. All right. Let's break this down. We can all agree that Watson is elite, but we can all agree Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Lamar Jackson is like consensus. They're in there, right?
Right.
Now, after that, it gets a little dicey, like I said. But from right there, you could literally argue anybody. Y'all chose to throw in some old guys based on credentials. A couple of us chose to throw in some younger guys that are performing that may have not performed in the postseason yet. But if we're going to compare Watson and Wentz, we can talk about that because the thing is, how? First of all, Wentz had more touchdowns than Watson last year, and he had far less weaponry. He had a horrible team around him, playing with a whole bunch of guys from the fucking practice squad, and he throwing to the best receiver in the league, and he had more TDs. So explain that to me.
We play in a division that is trash. Redskins, ass. Cowboys, ass. Come on, man. Giants, crazy, ass.
Hey, let him out.
Because the Jaguars are like so great, right? The Jaguars.
Hey, you know what? You know what Watson's problem was? You know what held Deshaun Watson back is Bill O'Brien, the man who just traded away the best receiver in football. You know what Wentz has that is a vast difference.
If Watson is really all that good, then if Watson has a better season, he didn't have a better season than Wentz last season anyway. And with a better weaponry. Now you about to see what it's like to not have any weapons. I'm saying Wentz outperformed him last season with less help. And Watson and Wentz playoff experience is more or less.
First of all, you guys have a
we're not talking about much on either side.
Name Watson's running back.
Name is running back?
Yeah, name is running back. Compared to your running back.
I mean, we're talking about what?
And then you're talking about you got to tight end.
You hand it off to your running back. You throw to your receivers. You can't complete passing yards or passing touchdowns without people that catch the ball, my friend. And having the number one receiver in the league is a lot different than having Boston Scott and Greg Ward.
Zach Ertz ain't a bum. Zach Ertz ain't a bum.
I ain't saying but I'm just saying who had the better help last year? Who had a better supporting cast last year? Watson or Wentz? I think we can all agree it was Watson.
All right, but do the playoffs mean nothing though? Do the playoffs mean nothing?
What did Watson do in the playoffs?
He won a game. Okay. What did Wentz do? What did Wentz do? That's all I'm saying. What did Wentz do, bro? Did Wentz complete a pass in the playoffs? Like I don't even remember, bro.
If we're comparing two guys that didn't really win anything, then we can argue. But ultimately, before Wentz got hurt, he was way better than Watson, and that was that's what you got to his record. He was playing great football, and he's still playing at a level. If you look at the stats, Watson and Wentz is more productive. Period.
I'll give you Wentz over Brady. I can see that, but based off 2019 only. But there ain't no way he's over
I'm giving
Watson,
you
bro.
Wentz over Brady. That's
Ain't
crazy.
no way he better than Watson, bro. I mean, I'm
Yo,
gonna say
Wentz can stay
We
healthy
gotta talk
for a
about
whole
what's going
season,
on right
bro.
now, man. We can't
Yo,
talk about
Wentz,
what happened 5 years ago.
yo, Wentz is made out of fucking breadsticks, bro.
I'm not
You
even
know
giving you
why?
Wentz
He
over
can't last
Foles.
past 16 games.
Hey, man. I'm saying I'm going off today, bro.
You
hey,
got
we
that
should
man in your top 5.
a
That's
poll
crazy.
up on the Twitter. We should put a poll up on the Twitter asking if Carson Wentz is a top 5 QB. Because I really want to know what the people think, man. Because I'm not even trying to hate on him. I honestly think Carson is a great quarterback. I just can't put him in my top 5 yet. Like, he's definitely top 10. And to be honest, had he completed that playoff game and won, he probably would have been in here. But I mean, you got to he's proven to me that he can be the man in the regular season, but you got to show improvement is most important. That's why I got Lamar at number 4. Really, Lamar could be higher up too if he would have won a playoff game, but you can't choke or lose or not be able to finish the game when the game matters more than all 17 of the regular season games or 16 of the regular season games. But they added an extra playoff spot and stuff, so maybe that'll help people like Carson Wentz break into the top 5, get an extra playoff game.
What are you talking about? He was in the playoffs last season. Like concussion protocol, you can't do nothing about somebody making a dirty play and knocking a dude out the game, bro.
Hey, look, man, your best ability is availability. We know that about football, and he's consistently not available when it counts. So
Who says? He played all 16 games last year.
But
Bro,
not the
we all
most
know who you
important
really want to
one.
put in your
That
5,
one
bro.
oh
playoff
my
game
God.
Bro, that
is
was
10
a
times
fluke.
more important.
That was literally a fluke, bro.
Hey, well, you know what? We're going to see what Wentz, though, because as long as he stays healthy, the division should be y'all's. Like, I'll say that right now.
We just had a fantasy draft. Did you draft him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
Oh yeah, this a keeper league, bro. I'm not playing. I mean this shit. I really mean it, bro. I'm not lying. I'm not lying, bro.
Be true to it. Okay.
Y'all not seeing what I'm seeing, bro. I watched every game of this man play. I'm telling you, this man.
I'm going to be honest, bro.
This man is on par with Deshaun Watson.
I'm going to be honest. I watch a lot of film. I do watch a lot of film. Carson Wentz does not have very many holes in his game, bro. He's not a bad quarterback, but T is right, bro. The best ability is availability, and you can be better than Deshaun Watson, but if you ain't on the field and he is, then you're not better. That's just the fact. So it might be a little unfair for Wentz, but like I said, if he can complete a playoff game and win it, then he'd definitely be moving up my rankings.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we're unanimous on Pat, right? Because that man is an alien, bro.
Yeah, I think we can all agree Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
One,
Definitely.
And I don't know how you got Watson ahead of Lamar Jackson. To me, if you're comparing them to, and honestly, that's why I said this. All of them are comparable because ultimately, what did Lamar do? He had one good season. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I think we could lock Russ in at number 2.
One great season. I'd say.
We could lock Russ in above Lamar and Deshaun.
Definitely.
More or less. You could even argue Lamar is better than Deshaun. I mean, I'm sorry, but Lamar is better than Russell. Not really, but low key.
Can't argue that.
Yeah.
He's got the juice. Like,
we're projecting.
He's playing in a high school offense, man. He's playing a damn wing T. Like, he's in the pistol. He's not throwing the ball outside the hashes. I'm a 49ers fan. I watched the same exact offense with Kaepernick. I watched Kaepernick light it up. You're gonna have to evolve as a quarterback, and Kaepernick did evolve. He just lost his weapons, but Lamar Jackson is getting more weapons. He's definitely not the quarterback that I think Kaepernick was as far as throwing the ball. I think he has a long way to go as far as dropping back and completing passes. But
so let me throw this question out. We're unanimous. Pat Mahomes is number 1 right now, right? And we all know that Lamar's got the juice and he's on the come up. Is there any chance that Lamar gets that number 1 spot over Pat this season?
No, not as long as Mahomes.
He has to beat him.
I wouldn't say no. I mean, Patrick
Lamar
is still
Jackson against Patrick Mahomes is 0-2, right?
What now?
Lamar Jackson against Patrick Mahomes is 0-2.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons, Lamar Jackson hasn't beat Patrick Mahomes. He will have to beat Patrick Mahomes, because I know they're playing this year, right? I believe they play at Kansas City.
But Lamar Jackson, it's going to be hard for him to beat Patrick Mahomes. His biggest flaw is throwing the football, right? Let's not talk around it. You saw it in Tennessee. When he has to throw, to win games, it didn't happen. And you have to throw to beat. We saw the 49ers. You have to complete passes if you want to beat the Chiefs. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Until he can light it up, drop him back, it's going to be rough just trying to run the ball for 200 yards like Al Bundy.
Why you gonna compare my man to Al Bundy, bro? Damn.
Al Bundy is a legend. All right.
Hey, he is.
But I'm just saying, you got to do more than run the football to beat the Chiefs. And the 49ers was a run-first team, too. And they was running the ball down everybody's throat. It did not work against Mahomes. That's not going to work against the Chiefs. And I'm not going to ever say he's better than Mahomes until he can, like you say, you got to beat him. And I don't think he can.
See, I'll give a little bit of pushback to that because we, as great as I'm saying Mahomes is, and I know I said he's superhuman and all that, we can't act like my man doesn't have a million weapons, bro. Like, he's got Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. I don't even want to go on with all the damn weapons he has. It's the Super Friends. It's the Justice League. It's the damn Avengers. Like, Patrick Mahomes has a bunch of Super Friends to help him out, and that plays a factor in my mind to it. I don't know, man. I think if Lamar starts throwing this ball around, I think he's definitely going to be better than Patrick Mahomes. It's not going to be a question in my mind.
Got him some weapons.
I don't know about Patrick Mahomes having like an amazing supporting cast. I think he has a decent supporting cast. I think Tyreek Hill's elite. Yeah, elite. He's got a elite receiver and he's got a really good tight end, yes. But like the other guys are solid. You know, he's got a good above average for sure, but it's not like the super friends. Like, come on now.
How many quarterbacks have a top 5 tight end and a top 5 wide receiver? Or a top 10 wide receiver if you want to knock him down a little bit.
I think it's more like Sammy Watkins. Mahomes is a better player. Patrick Mahomes made Tyreek Hill from a punt return into a receiver.
That's a fair point.
You could argue that, like, you know,
you could argue that.
Receivers, he's making them look good. Like the receiver, you know, he's putting them in the right place. A lot goes to that. I mean, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. He's an elite level, you know. So like when you're talking about Lamar Jackson, I think you were a little harsh on Lamar Jackson in your analysis of his passing. I think he's gotten a lot better, and he's much improved passing, and he's just not comparable with Patrick Mahomes' level of passing because he's literally the most elite passer, even more elite than like average what we've seen from elite passers. He's like the elite of the elite. So like it's kind of crazy, but Lamar Jackson did have 36 touchdowns last year. You know, like you gotta put a little respect on his name as a passer. I think he's much improved, but you know,
it's a lot of play action.
Playing him out of being comfortable and fuck him up.
A lot of play action, a lot of throwing the ball to the tight ends, not throwing the ball outside the hashes. It's a lot of one read, two read. If the read's not there, tuck it and run. That's not what we usually associate with high NFL quality quarterbacks, right? Usually you want them to go through their entire progressions, maybe dump it off. This guy, all right, look, receiver's not there, tight end's not there, pull it down and run. That's not elite quarterback to me. Like I said, I've watched this same offensive coordinator with Kaepernick. It's the same exact offense. He's doing it a little bit more dynamic. Cap put up some similar stats. He didn't have an MVP line, but got to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, in my mind, Lamar has to get to the Super Bowl for me to even compare him to Cap as a quarterback. I just don't think he throws the ball that good. I think he throws the ball probably worse than Trubisky. I mean, watch the tape. Every pass is.
Wasn't he in your top 5 though? You said Lamar in your top 5, right?
Right, because he's that dynamic, right? He can make plays. I'm not taking anything away from him as a player. Just as a quarterback, like pure quarterbacking, he's not the prototypical quarterback, and I don't want to. I hate knocking him because he's a black guy, but at the end of the day, when he has to throw to win, he hasn't done it. I have to see it first.
Yeah,
I have to see it.
Yeah.
So T, tell me, so
like 18 games.
You saw your team lost to both of these top players. So Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. Which game were you scared? Which game made you more nervous going up against?
Mahomes. I wasn't worried about Lamar Jackson. We played them in a torrential downpour, which is conducive to running the football. We were 2 running teams. They beat us in a very, very close game. I think they beat us in the last possession. Justin Tucker hit a field goal. So it wasn't that close with the Chiefs. I mean, we were up, but the Chiefs ended up, getting us out of there. So even Lamar Jackson didn't look as good as Patrick Mahomes when the 49ers. I'm a 49ers fan. When we went to head with them. I'm critical of Lamar, but I need to see it.
Very critical, man. Your analysis makes me feel like he's not top 5. I agree with most of your points, though. He's gotta throw more. He's definitely got to throw more. But I think he will though. I don't see a
I
situation
think he will too.
where he won't. You know, he's got the weapons and I think he's got the arms. It's just a matter of if they're gonna coach him up. As a Redskins fan, I saw the same thing with RG3. You know, like it was all one read and run, but it was a situation where the player wasn't really willing to be coached up on how to be a pocket passer at the time. So as long as Lamar is willing to be coached up and the Ravens are actually willing to coach him up on passing the ball, then he'll probably supersede Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the league, man. Because I'm telling you, man, that dual threat, man, like the running, if you can do it the way Lamar is doing it and add a little bit of what Patrick Mahomes is doing, or just any regular quarterback that can throw, then you're unstoppable.
Oh, does this give you a little insight into what maybe the ownership, the organization, the management thinks of him? They took J.K. Dobbins in a loaded wide receiver draft. They plan on running.
Took Devin Duvernay.
Yeah, they took him. Who did they take first?
They were like, yeah, they took Dobbins first. So he needed a running back. Like
Not need a running back.
Not like that good.
Mark Ingram's getting up there in age.
Edwards, and
he's a receiving back. If you're really breaking down Dobbins' game, he's a receiving back. He's definitely excellent out of the backfield, and that's a guy that would work well with Lamar Jackson. That's a weapon. I don't see it as a shade on Lamar.
I think it's making the strength stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like they already do that whole option game, and Dobbins is going to fit perfect with that.
Yeah,
so definitely. I mean, it's just making the strength stronger. But regardless of anything, Lamar's got to start hitting passes outside of the number. I think we definitely agree on that.
Man, that's crazy. I think that y'all being a little harsh on him.
Watch the tape.
I agree. Like the stuff was elementary, but what needs to be said is that he won the MVP throwing those like basic, passes and really simple reads, and that's the amazing part about it. And that's why the thing about Lamar Jackson that's so scary is just progression wise from year one, where they had a very, 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 very simple offense. He was just coming in and like mid-season they threw something together for him. Then they threw out the playbook, and you've seen what happened. It was a total. First of all, no one could figure it out for the majority of the season. Then finally, people started figuring it out, and then they had to adjust the game a little bit. Ultimately, they got a little cold with the little, weight off period, and they lost a playoff game. So what, man? Like a lot of great players did. Like Patrick Mahomes did it before. There was, he just puts up big numbers during the season. That's exactly what they were saying about him. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson will come in and win the Super Bowl this year because like that's the highest expectation of what could happen. But I'm saying he's going to be coming in with that same energy, and he's going to continue. If the rate of improvement he did from year 1 to 2, 2 to 3, it's going to be another big improvement. But I don't want to see what's going to happen like year 5, 6, and so on. If he continues improving at any rate, kind of like he did from 1 to 2, because that's an astronomical improvement.
No, I really agree with you. I think he'll take a jump again, but I just don't see him jumping past Mahomes.
Yeah, and I agree on that. Not right now, anyway.
Hey, so Patrick Mahomes got the league on lock for the next 5 years, then?
Nah, he doesn't have he's the best quarterback though. But that doesn't mean the best quarterback does not always win. It happened this year, but it does not always happen.
I mean,
back to your point about.
Go
ahead, T. You got it.
I was just gonna say I don't think he'll run off rings like Tom Brady, but I think he'll consider.
He might if they keep that Super Friend team together. He might.
But Bill's got way too much parity. He ain't gonna be nothing like that. Tyreek Hill volatile. You never know what could happen, man. They're not unbeatable, my friend. They barely won it, honestly. The 49ers could have been the champs like easily. A couple things went their way.
I don't know, man. The way that Patrick Mahomes just kept coming back, man. They should have lost to the Texans too, bro. Like
that's what you got to do.
I can't knock a team that comes back. Like I can't say that was all Patrick Mahomes, man. Down 24-0 in that one game and then losing in the Super Bowl. That ain't all Mahomes, bro. Like that team is super solid. That coach is incredible. The Chiefs as a whole are just they're crazy to me.
I disagree. I mean, every NFL team is super solid. I agree. Every NFL team is super solid. I think honestly, all 32 teams, like that team is not so elite. What's elite about that team is 2 things: the coach and the quarterback. That's the elite part about that team.
Bro, compare the weapons to the Chiefs to the weapons on the Redskins.
Well, do the Chiefs have the same?
It's laughable.
Probably have similar weapons.
Comparison, but if you compare the weapons on the Chiefs to the weapons on the Chargers, they're about the same. or
You just
I'm
said
saying,
that
or
they were
the
like almost team. I wouldn't even say it's the same as the Packers.
any
What about the
contender, if you
Saints?
look at their rosters, it's comparable. Any playoff team.
I wouldn't say it's the same as the Saints either. The Travis Kelce makes a huge jump from the Packers and the Saints. Neither one of those quarterbacks have a super reliable tight end like Travis Kelce, and that makes all the difference. And for a
There
lot of
aren't many
QBs,
tight ends like that, but you
What
know,
about the Cowboys? There's a lot of teams that have a
the
lot of
Cowboys would
really
reliable.
good
actually
weapons,
be
right?
the Cowboys would
I,
actually be a comparison.
I'd say
Yeah,
the Cowboys team is way better, like on paper, like receivers and backs than the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't even have an elite back.
And I think Sammy Watkins is super overrated. That's just my
oh
personal.
Really,
man,
since when is Sammy Watkins like an
That's,
elite
that's,
receiver? The dude
that's
was
just
on
my
his way out of the
personal
league
opinion.
before he went.
I'm nobody's saying he's elite, but he could probably be a number one receiver on a couple teams.
No, he could not.
What team?
I'm sure he could be a number one receiver on a few teams, bro.
What team?
All right,
When
who-
Tyreek Hill went down,
who
Sammy Watkins take a step up.
He was a number one receiver on the team. That's why he got traded to the Chiefs because he wasn't a number one receiver. They said, "All right, bro, he can be your number two," and he was a strong two. But now he's really not even a two no more.
He's a
I think
be the number
McCall
one.
Hardman take those snaps.
He'd be the number one receiver in Seattle. Russell
No,
Wilson would take him.
He's not better than
You're
DK
crazy. You're
Metcalf. Come
blasphemous.
on, my
That is
friend.
blasphemous. You're blasphemous.
DK Metcalf had a better season last season than Sammy Watkins had in probably most of his entire career.
Sleeping
Maybe
on Sammy, bro. Sleeping on Sammy.
DK
Didn't
Sleeping
Sammy
on
Metcalf
Sammy.
Watkins
season is
didn't he take a
so
pay
much
cut?
promise, bro. Come on.
Didn't he
now.
restructure his contract to take a pay cut?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. He knows what he is. He's a
That's
role player now.
That's a
Telltale
good
sign.
player.
He got you. He got you fooled. He got you fooled.
All right, man. Y'all sleeping on
The
Sammy,
Lizard
bro.
King. You said the Lizard King is someone is the number one receiver. You're
The Lizard
crazy.
King.
You're crazy, bro. Sammy Watkins number one. Sammy Watkins is better than Lockett.
Didn't like 3 or 4 people like try to trade up and get Sammy in our little fantasy draft, bro? Everybody hating on Sammy right now, but niggas wanted to draft Sammy though. Like
But that was like round 17 to 18, bro.
But he's clearly gonna get some targets. He's clearly gonna get some type of love. If like
were
y'all
guys
just acting like he's a nobody right now.
Fringe roster players being drafted at that spot. What are you talking about? Not number one receivers.
I think he's going to split snaps with McCole Hardman. I really.
Hey, there's another guy that's a dog too, though.
Bro, someone drafted Luke Kuechly, bro, in our draft, bro. I'm not taking no offense to all of us, but bro, come on.